It's time to dive beneath the surface and into the minds and hearts of your favorite celebrities and pop culture icons. Welcome to Up and Adam.
Hi, guys. Welcome back. And look who I have here. Hello, Monica. How are you?
Hey, Adam. How are you?
Always good and always a pleasure to have you on. I was just telling Emily earlier, who I just did a live with, another collab, Emily D. Baker. She's a great legal commentator for anybody who wants to go check her out. But you both are two of my favorites. Like, I come to you for all of the knowledge, and you always have the tea before anyone else does. And then I go to Emily because she breaks down shit that I really don't understand.
All the legal stuff.
Yeah, the legal stuff. So this is a double whammy for me today. It made it a great Thursday.
Okay, Adam, I have to hire you as my hype man. Let me tell you, you make me feel so good. Every time I come here, you are just so wonderful. Just to sum you up, wonderful. Okay.
Hey, I'll keep you around. And it's not only that, but you just have this soothing voice. And I think there's like a mystery. We've talked about this on the phone, right?
Yes.
I think there's a mystery behind it because we see is it called an emotocon or is it called emoji?
Emojicon. Yeah.
Emojicon.
Yeah.
Emojicon.
Mm-hmm.
We see your Emojicon and you have this soothing voice and it's like, who is this mystery woman?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, if you came on here sounding like Gigi Hadid and you were like, hey, Adam, I'd be like, oh, okay. I don't know about this girl. I don't know if we're going to be doing a lot of lives together, but you just have this like,
oh,
how are you? Yeah, I really enjoy it.
Listen, I live for our conversations offline. It's a key. And you as well. You educate me, you inspire me, and I just love talking to you, Adam. And again, thank you for inviting me on your platform.
Oh my gosh, always. We talked about this last night too. Natalie P, thank you for the super chat. You have the best panel of all time, Monica. That she does.
Thank you, Natalie.
An extremely talented panel, and also they have their what is it called when you have it's not
synergy. Oh, receipts.
No, it's not the receipts. It's the oh my gosh, why is this going over my head?
Synergy.
No, it's not synergy. You guys have that too. You have it all, but it's the knowledge that goes behind it, and also the credentials. They have the credentials.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So it just gives you that much more credibility, which makes an amazing panel. And the way that you said the synergy, the way you guys work together. I sit here with Jason and we watch you guys and we laugh our asses off. And sometimes my jaw drops too. We do both because you guys say stuff on there and I'm like,
yeah, we don't hold back. It's it can be reckless at times. It can be, but it's organized chaos, as I love to say.
That's a good way to put it. Organized chaos. Yes. You deliver the good time vibes, but then sometimes you give us that little bit of shock value. And we're like, oh shit, she just said that. So it's good.
Welcome. I mean, shout out to everyone in the panel too. I see all the, the wonderful comments. Your crew here, what do you call it?
I actually
supporters.
I had a guy, I don't know if you've ever heard of him. His name is Your Wet Sock, and he does TLC stuff. And he came on one day and he called his community Wet Socks. And on my live in front of everyone, he's like, what do you call your community? And I was like, my family? I don't know. And then everyone started naming them Adam's Angels. And I was like, shit. Now they call themselves the Angel Community, which I love it because this, again, everyone who subscribes to my channel and who engages in the comments and in the chats, I don't really look at them like my subscribers. I look at them like my family because we have real conversations outside of it. And who the hell am I? You know what I mean? So I'm not up here like Anderson Cooper or some shit. I'm on here like
Adam, you are pretty important. Okay. Like you're on your way. Like I told you yesterday, you're very polished, you're professional. And I just see you just big things for you. You're just going up and up and your platform is building. I know it's a love fest up here. You're like, get to the damn recap.
Yeah, they're
I
like, start this. No. And guys, once I do, I appreciate that. Once I get to those credentials, maybe one day I can be on the panel with Monica. So I just got to get there. I got to get my eDaily pop on. Got to get on the talk or some NBC something. Fox
Listen,
News
you're
5,
always
something.
invited, though. You're always invited. And I keep telling you, you got to come. Just last week, I was like, Adam, you got to come back and do something. We're covering a bunch of stuff, but lately it's been the non-housewife stuff, the drama, with this Derek Jackson guy, Love and Marriage Huntsville, the non-Bravo shows and celebrities and that kind of thing. So
it just seems like it never stops. Well,
yeah.
Something else that hasn't stopped, obviously, is the Real Housewives of New Jersey. So I guess, shall we segue right into it?
Absolutely. Let's go. I'm ready.
All right. So I wanted to know if you were watching this season, and I asked you that before we even started, and you made a good point. You said, you don't know if you've outgrown these shows. You don't know if it's because you don't buy the storylines that they're selling, and you're not the only one. I don't know if it was because of the pandemic and a lot of people had nothing but time to stay home and rewatch seasons and seasons and see how these housewives have transformed over time and how a lot of the storylines every single year just feel even more and more pre-produced. Of course, we're not talking about Jen Shah being arrested or what's going to happen with Erica Girardi on Beverly Hills, because that's real life shit. But we're talking about kind of like Teresa Giudice on the Real Housewives of New Jersey, spewing out a baseless rumor about another woman's husband cheating at the gym. Where did you pull that out of? And now this is our main storyline for the whole season, which people are kind of getting pissed off about.
Well, they got to do something, right, to keep the lights on. They have to do something. Every season, it's always some manufactured drama, and that's totally what it is. Do I believe Teresa heard that rumor? Maybe she started it. But do I believe that he's really cheating on Jackie? No.
And then you watch this episode and you see such a defeated woman. Like, I feel like these women come into the seasons, like they know they have to put on their boxing gloves and they're like, okay, let's do this. We're about to do this. But I think after taking so many blows to your family, your marriage, what's going on with your kids, knowing that your kids are going to hear about this at school, we saw a defeated Jackie Goldschneider on this episode. And I just felt so bad because at what point do you realize like this is a show?
I didn't feel bad for her. Let me tell you why, because she signs up to be there. And she knows, she's very intelligent, highly intelligent. She knows what reality TV is all about and what's expected. The producers are constantly coming down on them for more drama. You better deliver. The show is going to be canceled or you'll be fired. She knows. She wants fame like everyone else. She don't need the money because they don't pay that much. It's the fame. So I don't feel sorry for her. Not one bit. It's her turn in the hot seat.
Okay. And a lot of people kind of feel the same way you do, in the sense that, she used a really disturbing analogy this season, comparing what Teresa said about her husband to a baseless rumor. Well, it was an analogy. It wasn't even a rumor about Teresa's daughter, Gia, allegedly doing coke. And fans, ex-housewives like Caroline Manzo, people spoke out and they were pissed and they're like, what are you doing, girl? And she's like, no, that's not fair. Teresa is not going to talk about my family. And then it's not free game to talk about her family. And then they were trying to differentiate. They're like, well, you talked about her husband when she talked about your daughter. So is one worse than the other? Before we move on, do you have an opinion on that, of which one would be worse?
She should have left the kids out of it. Leave the babies out of it.
Even if they're of age?
Even if they're of age, I saw her point. I saw where she was going, and it was, you attack my family, I'm going to attack your family. But, it gets sticky. It really, really does. She's of age, but she's still in college. So she still qualifies for like health insurance under her mother.
Right. Okay.
If you look at it from that standpoint, right. Yeah. I don't know. It was just, it was a cheap shot. It was, but then Teresa's cheap.
I mean, they continue to both do it. Like, Teresa sitting in this episode across the table and she's like, I don't need to be around you. I like to be around confident women because I'm confident. And then Jackie just, boom. Did you get that confidence in jail? It's like, yeah, okay, you can't be the aggressor and the victim. We got to pick a lane, girl. But I also understand defending yourself. Some of the moments on this episode and on this show, though, that do feel pre-manufactured, like storylines, this would be one of them. Melissa Gorga running up to her sister-in-law and throwing over the bowl of cheese and just making it this big thing and screaming out really loud. It's like, what are you doing? But it seems like she knows that cameras are there. So she wants to give that much bigger reaction, as opposed to, do people really act like this when you're not being filmed?
No, they don't. Teresa, Joe Gorga, her brother, and Melissa all get together every single season before the season starts and concoct a fake storyline. Okay. It was the fake pizzeria in the past that they had. Joe Gorga was on Instagram scamming people with fake photos of homes he didn't renovate. Season after season, it's a fake storyline. No, all of it's fake. I mean, if you really pay close attention and you did it in slow-mo, slow your TVs down. You'll actually see them cracking a smile. No.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing, is like, you start picking up on these things that you're like, red flag. I do want to point out, do you remember Danielle Staub?
Absolutely.
Okay. So Danielle Staub, who doesn't like to be called Beverly, even though that's how she started, and she will get really pissed off and rip you a new one. She will. She did a video. She records herself watching the episodes, which is probably one of the saddest things that I've ever seen. But she likes to record herself like picking apart the episode, and she's like, she sits there with her dog. They kind of, I don't know. She, you know how when they say, like, people tell me that my dog looks like me, and they say people start to look like their dogs. Well, Danielle Staub and her Chihuahua, they have a lot of similarities. Anyways, they both bark. She's recording herself on screen, and she's watching the episode, and she's like, these cowards, these stupid fools. Can you believe these animals act like this? I'm like, yes, girl. Last season, you snagged Margaret Joseph's hair back. Like, yes, we do believe that they act like this, and you've also engaged in it, but you got fired because nobody wanted to film with you. And then she keeps going, and Joe Gorga was like, in this episode, he's slamming his hands on the table, and he's like, you know, Joe Giudice ruined my life. He took my mom from me. He ruined everything. And she's watching, and she's like, well, you also had a part in it too. You don't get 40 counts of X, Y, and Z and not know that it's happening. And also, just to let anybody know who's watching, she says Joe Gorga was in on it. And I was like, no, you just threw that out there. Isn't that kind of a big allegation? Have you heard this before or no?
That Joe Gorga was in on what exactly? What is she talking about?
She's talking about Joe Giudice's crimes. That Joe Gorga.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, if there was any proof, he would be in prison too. The feds, you know, the feds are they like to put people in prison. So that's their full-time job. Sit around, watch what you're doing, and then lock you up. So if he was in on it, he would be in jail too. You know, he would have served time. I don't know about that. Maybe, maybe not. But I know one thing Beverly wouldn't know. She's not the feds. Okay. And not Miss Beverly, the one that was selling, you know, crack cocaine, and kidnapping people and sticking guns in people's mouths. Not that Beverly critiquing and judging and clutching her pearls. Girl, have a seat.
Oh my gosh, the hypocrisy here. Can she get in trouble for slander by saying that on a live, especially because she still has some little bit of public figure that she's holding on to, right? She's not letting it go. That's why she records herself watching the show, which, again, one of the saddest things ever. But couldn't she get in trouble for slander by just associating him with that and saying that he's guilty of something that he's never been convicted of?
Well, if Joe and Melissa can scrape up some coins, okay, because, you know, I'm always hearing they have financial troubles. If they can scrape up some coins and hire an attorney and sue her for defamation of character and slander, yeah, why not? Let's see. You know,
but
let's take it to court.
What are they going to get out of that? She has nothing.
Can't take zero from nothing. She's 1 foot out of the homeless shelter, to be quite honest with you. Marty Caffrey, her ex-husband, is actually looking for her because she owes him a lot of money, and she has judgments against her, and she's on the run, basically, you know.
Well, you want to look for her, you just got to find her on IGTV because she sits there and records herself. She even yells at the people who write into her. Somebody wrote in and she's like, I don't speak Arabic. Sorry. Next. And I'm like, God, you are so, because people, of course, writing from all over the world, you know, who are commenting just like on YouTube, if they're writing in a language that they know, especially like Arabic, okay, so you might have missed it, but then if you don't know it, wouldn't the proper thing to be to either ask someone to translate it or just pass over it? Because I'm sure the comments were going like this as they're watching her self-destruct watching the episode. You know what I mean? So maybe skip that comment. Don't just be like, I don't speak Arabic. Next. It's like,
She's so rude.
Yeah, what is
She
wrong?
is so like how can you be an elitist when you're the bottom of the barrel? Girl, have a seat.
She's
Please.
angry. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
You think?
she swears that, eventually it's going to be a Teresa takedown, and she thinks that, all of the women are going to come together and get her off the show. Now, I don't necessarily believe that. I think that Teresa has mucked it for long enough. She put herself out there with her financial problems. She went to jail. She got out of jail. She got a divorce. Now she has her new boyfriend, who we've seen here, Luis Ruelas. We're about to see that play out in the rest of this season. So she's constantly having something happen in her life. And she also likes to put on that production cap, right? That producer's cap where she goes in and kind of plays LVP a little bit, where she puppeteers the storylines and makes things move, if you will. I couldn't see them getting rid of her before they would get rid of somebody like Margaret Josephs or Jackie Goldschneider or even Melissa Gorga. But I wanted to see if you had an opinion on that.
Listen, Teresa started that show. She's Andy Cohen's like baby. She's the princess, the head bitch in charge. They're not getting rid of her before the others unless she does something like extremely drastic or something. But I mean, even when she pulled Bravo into her fraud case and she said Bravo made her flash the cash and all the scenes are fake. That to me was a fireable offense. Because you're saying the show that we watch and you're calling it reality TV is fake. She literally pulled them into her court case. They didn't fire her then. So I doubt that she's going anywhere. They like her over there. She stirs the pot.
Do you know, I'm actually glad that you said that really quick, because since I just got off my last live, we were talking about the fact that Bravo, somebody made a joke and said, does the FBI have a Bravo unit yet? Because of how many people are going down. And Emily D. Baker was talking about how much of a pain in the ass it is when these things happen to the Housewives or anyone on any of their franchises, and they get subpoenaed for all of that footage. And that could be a fireable offense right there, because they're going to have to scrape through all of this raw footage and hand it over. And a lot of that raw footage, you don't necessarily want the public to see, but it becomes public. So for Teresa Giudice, they had to have subpoenaed
They
that
did.
footage.
Absolutely. They did. And Bravo wasn't happy about that, but they didn't fire her. I doubt they would fire Jen over that. They're used to that. The lucky, I guess the upside to it is that she's only been on one season, so there's not that much footage to scour through, as opposed to Teresa, who was on, maybe 2 or 3 seasons, 2 seasons at that point. So now, they didn't fire her. They did it. I think she'll be fine. Yeah.
Wait, you think Jen's going to be fine?
I think Jen will be fine if she stays. I have a feeling she might quit if she's smart, she'll walk away from that show, because why would you go back there and incriminate yourself? But the FBI was investigating her since 2012. So this goes, her wire fraud and money laundering scam went back to 2012, long before she was on that show.
Wow. Wow. And we know that the first people convicted, it was back in 2019 when they started catching people who were a part of this alleged fraud ring. Yeah. And then, I'm just going based off of what Emily said, her speculation to the gods, I think is how she words it. She was like, maybe somebody in that fraud ring, allegedly, who was picked up back in 2019, maybe they handed over Jen Shah's name. But if you're saying that she was already being investigated in 2012, then maybe not. Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
I
can't wait to see how this plays out. It's going to be interesting. Hello there in the chat says FBI wasn't investigating since 2012. She was scheming since 2012. Correction. She was scheming since 2012. I don't know when the investigation started. So that's where I had it with the two, Yeah.
Okay. Well,
she was scheming according to the indictment, she was scheming since 2012. I don't know when they started investigating her, but I would assume it was long before Housewives, because the feds take their time. They don't just bring a case. By the time they come to you with the indictment, they have been investigating you for quite some time.
Okay. Well, and when they come to you with the indictment, usually, this is what I think I heard, they don't open the indictment for it to be public knowledge until they're on their way to go arrest you, because they don't want you to flee.
Yeah.
They don't want you to run. They don't want it on social media or in the media first. They want to make sure they have you. And then that's when it spreads out.
But you know already, because they've come, they ask questions, they come to your home, they ask questions, they go to your business, they do raids to get evidence and that kind of stuff. So she knew they were investigating. That wasn't a secret. They've had discussions with her. Yeah, no, this wasn't a huge secret to her. It wasn't completely behind her, back, and she was blindsided by it. No, that's not how they work. They will come to you. They will interrogate you, have discussions with you, your business partners. And then in 2019, if one of her business partners were arrested, then she definitely knew what was going on. She knew. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Oh my God.
She wasn't blindsided by it at all. No. Mm-hmm.
Did you see the statement where she said that she was, and I know that we're here to talk about Jersey too, guys. This is kind of Jersey, just to bring it up. She did say Teresa walked so I could run, and this didn't obviously age well. But for Jen, oh my gosh, I just totally lost my train of thought. I was going to ask, no, what the hell? It was good. Oh, I was going to ask you if you saw the statement about her saying that she was the Wizard of Oz, the one who makes things happen behind the scenes, kind of like the ringleader of it all. Did you see that statement?
I did. I know she's regretting so much of that. But you know what? The ego is so big that you think that, you've been doing it since 2012. No one has ever said anything. So you feel that you can go on TV and just say what you want, do what you want. She's an idiot. She's an idiot.
Yeah, it's almost like she didn't know. I guess she didn't know the extent of the public figure she was about to get by joining Bravo. I don't honestly know what the hell.
She knew. She just wanted fame and thought she can get away with it. She really did. She thought she can just, skate by. And but you know what I found very interesting, though? I found very interesting that the feds only had one count on each thing, like one count of wire fraud and then one count of money laundering scheme. Usually with the feds, they'll have like 10 counts of this, 15 counts of that, so you can plead down. But it was only one count. She probably won't even do any jail time, maybe, is what I'm thinking.
Really?
That's what I'm thinking. And especially if she starts talking and giving the, she needs to snitch.
Well, she's the last two, though. She was defendant number 10. This is what Emily said, but she was defendant number 10, and then Stuart Smith was defendant number 11. And then after that, the police came out and made a statement saying, this is the end of this fraud ring. This is the last of it. We won't be indicting anyone else.
So people snitched on her to bring her down. Oh, wow.
And I have a feeling Mr. Stuart Smith might start singing like a canary in order to save his ass. Because
he better. He better. Or don't drop the soap, either one.
Oh, no, not the soap. Oh,
he better start singing like a bird. He better. I mean, if he knows what's good for him, I would.
I mean, I feel like people flip when it comes to the feds. I don't know. Okay. Well, there was also, do you believe in hearing, and maybe you do, because you've had a very successful blog for over 8 years, right? Am I saying that right?
Sir. Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
All right. And you've heard of blind items.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Can you explain for anyone who's watching what a blind item is?
Basically, it's a way of putting out content without naming people, probably for legal reasons. And it's a riddle. And they put it together with, context clues and that kind of thing. And you're supposed to guess who they're talking about. But I've done a few blind items. And what I do them with the intention of proving them, because I already have the proof to prove it. But that's a way of like doubling, your income. You put the blind item up first, and then you say, oh, it's been solved, and here's the proof, kind of thing. That's how I've always done my blind items. But yeah, it's a way of getting a story out without naming anyone for legal reasons.
Okay.
But it's not always true. There's a site out there that does blind items. I'm not going to name who they are, but a lot of it is lies.
Well, maybe this information came from this site, but maybe it did. I mean, I'm not sure. Someone actually asked me about it in my comments, and they've asked me like 11 times. Legit, I counted. I think I hit like 10 or 11. And they're like, Adam, answer this. Adam, answer this. We heard a blind item that there was a Real Housewife of New York allegedly committing money laundering as well. And I'm like, are all of these housewives corrupt? What the hell is going on around here? Is everybody?
That wouldn't shock me. I haven't read that blind item, so I don't know what the clues are, but it wouldn't shock me. Because I wonder sometimes, we know that Sonia inherited a lot of money from the Morgan, her ex-husband, JP Morgan's, the JP Morgan heir. But Ramona, her money's kind of questionable to me. I mean, I know she had that jewelry line back in the day and everything, but how did she sustain it? Because who's buying her jewelry?
Are you talking about the religious jewelry that her husband did?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, but I always thought about that too. Like, how the hell are you making
how much gold, crosses are people buying, really?
But then she said she also buys, she goes to, I don't know if you remember this. This was on one of the episodes. And guys, I know that we're weaving all over the place right now, but also we can either sit here and talk about Jennifer Aydin's drunk ass, or we can sit here and talk about real crimes that are going on behind the scenes or allegedly. Yeah. But questioning back to what Ramona actually does, she did say on one of the episodes that she buys in bulk fashions, and she gets them for a really low discounted rate. And then after she buys them, she resells them for like double the price. Right. So I don't know how you could allegedly maneuver illegally that business, but honestly, I'm not surprised by any of these housewives anymore. I feel like every time we turn around, especially as of lately, since like November, it's something new.
Yeah. On that particular franchise, it wouldn't shock me with any. Well, I wouldn't say Bershawn, because I know where she got her money from and it's legit, but it would not.
Does Bershawn have money?
She does. Yeah, she does. She does. But it wouldn't shock me. It would not shock me. Like I said, Ramona's wealth is kind of questionable. Luann, I've heard she has money problems. She didn't do too well in the divorce. Her money situation is kind of questionable. Who else? Sonia, I don't know how much money she has left. Her money situation has always been kind of questionable. The townhouse falling apart. Nothing would shock me. And she's not very smart, Sonia. So I love her to death. She's a sweetheart. She's a sweetheart. She's so sweet. But she's not very, when it comes to business, she's not very intuitive. She's no Bethany.
Right.
So it wouldn't shock me on that franchise if someone was indicted. No, it really wouldn't.
And I would never see it being Bethany. I feel like Bethany is too on top of her shit. Like, it would never. I think that she's just too good. But then again,
never say never.
Never say never. I want to point out, since we're talking about, because I feel like this is so much juicier, talking about the fraudulent behavior behind Bravo.
I like it.
Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, they had 3 burglaries from current housewives on the show. Now, Dorit Kemsley she had financial woes, right? Where she was kind of navigating whatever was going on. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yeah. Dorit Kemsley. So she was going through her financial woes, and then her house was burglarized. Okay. And then Kyle Richards, from our knowledge, she's never had financial woes, but the minute she moves in her house is burglarized, and all of her jewelry and her handbags, as she said on the reunion, things that meant a lot to her, they were all taken out of the house. But they forgot to put the cameras on, right? Was that
It's always that. To me, where there's smoke, there's fire. They're always forgetting to put the cameras on, or they were on vacation or out to dinner. It's just, I'm always giving that franchise, when it comes to these burglaries, the side eye. I don't believe any of them. I think they're all crooks from Maurizio down.
I mean, and then Erica Girardi and her soon-to-be ex-husband Thomas Girardi, right before they're about to get evicted, the home is burglarized. And I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, does everybody know something about how to get away with some shit? Like, is there some, and is this not a red flag that 3 out of 6 of you have been burglarized when you guys are going through, well, again,
they must be hiring the same person to do it. It's an inside job, obviously. And I think Maurizio's in on it, to be honest with you. Allegedly, from what I hear. I hear all kinds of bad stuff about him.
I've always wondered about Kyle Richards, because we haven't heard anything about her ever having financial troubles. And of course, if you hear about one of the housewives going through something like financial hardships, then at the moment that a burglary happens, there's red flags that go out. But for Kyle Richards, maybe we just never heard about what was going on, or maybe she was genuinely actually burglarized. Who knows? I don't want to just say they're all liars, because I can't say that. And, you know, I didn't see the evidence, right? But I'm just saying it's crazy to look at this franchise as a whole. And again, know that there's 3 out of the 6 women who in the last 2 years have been burglarized.
Makes no sense. I mean, like I said, where there's smoke, there's fire. You know, they must really
get out of
think we're
jail.
just stupid. You know how they try to insult our intelligence. Come on now, come on. And it must be the same person doing it. I think they're all hired by Maurizio. To be honest with you, I think he's in on it. To be quite honest with you, from the things I'm hearing. So, yeah,
Well,
yeah, there's something up.
Gina Maxey said Kyle said she and Mo didn't have 2 nickels to rub together in the beginning. Yeah, but they've come a long way since. And also Firefly, I just want to see if I said that right. Said, I think so too. Insurance fraud all around. Beyonce, her storage unit got robbed. The hell is she going? What the hell is she doing with the storage unit? Well, I'm sure she has a lot of
right. And, you know, Jamal makes a good point, and I've talked about this too on my channel. He makes a good point in the chat. The PPP loans. I'm hearing he committed some fraud on those PPP loan applications.
What is a PPP loan?
That's the paycheck. It's the government program. Let me give you the correct definition of it, but it's a paycheck. I'm going to tell you right here. I'll tell you the exact. I don't want to say the wrong things. Hold on. Let me tell you right here. I'm going to look it right up on my phone. Give me a minute.
Tina Jacobs said burglaries are quite common in Beverly Hills, usually all inside jobs.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a whole nother world.
It is. Okay, give me 1 minute, Adam. I'm going to pull it right up over here.
PPP loans.
Oh, you got it? Do you have it?
Oh, no. Somebody said Paycheck Protection Program.
Right. There you go. Paycheck Protection Program. That's exactly what it is. And during COVID, when businesses had to close down, the government did some sort, it was like an insurance type of thing where if you ran a legitimate business and you needed money to keep your business afloat and pay employees and not lay them off, because you weren't supposed to lay anyone off. You weren't supposed to. You're supposed to keep them employed and use the money for payroll. They gave it to you and you didn't have to pay it back. So people took out like 5 million. Candy Burrs took out 350,000. Peter Thomas took out 350,000 twice for both of his restaurants, bar one Miami, bar one Charlotte. So yeah. But Candy laid off people, and so did Maurizio. Maurizio actually had a mass exodus over there. He laid off a lot of people. So yeah, you know, and closed down locations. So I'm like, how are you taking the government's money and doing it? Make it make sense.
So wait, you're saying that Candy's doesn't make sense either?
I don't know, but yeah.
It's messy.
It is. It really, really is messy.
Allie Jones said Candy used it.
To open up her second restaurant. That's the rumor. Yeah, her steakhouse. That allegedly that's what they're saying around town in Atlanta. So,
oh my gosh, I gotta take a ride to Atlanta and see what the hell they're saying around town. Gosh, this just doesn't stop these women.
I know. It's truly disgusting because Candy has all that money and stuff. You don't need the government's money. Stop it. I mean, I know it's free money, but still, she didn't need it. Why not let that money sit with the government for companies that really need the help? You know, that's kind of greedy, in my opinion. Candy is just so damn greedy. Ugh.
Well, can't listen business-wise. I guess I was going to say she's doing the damn thing, but now if you're saying she's doing the damn thing with the government's money, that's different. Oh, okay. All right. So this is a lot. Circling back to the Real Housewives of New Jersey, knowing that, you know, moving forward, they've exhausted this ridiculous storyline. Melissa Gorga and her husband are acting like they're having marital problems, which I'm not buying any of it. I feel like we have 2 actors on the line here. Is there anything about this franchise that you even look forward to anymore, or have you checked out?
I'm checked out. It's the end of the road for me. There's no more story to be told. I mean, everything has an expiration date, Adam. And Atlanta, New Jersey, OC for sure. That's in the grave, if you ask me.
They just put out a rumor today that Teddy Mellencamp, they're talking about Teddy Mellencamp going to the OC. We're like, that is not the reboot.
Good Lord.
That is not the reboot that anyone asked for.
Lord, child,
nobody watches
these
Teddy
people at
Mellencamp.
Bravo need help for real. But yeah, it's and that's why they're doing all these housewives, superstars, put them in one house. They're trying to revamp it somehow. But for me, the story has come to there's no more story to be told for Candy and her family. There's no more story to be told. Well, Kenya Moore, no, there's story to be told. Actually, she should get a spinoff because I love to see Mark Daly drag her ass. I'd watch that. If they're gonna do a spinoff with Mark dragging her, listen, I'm on board. So Kenya Moore, yeah, there's story. Portia, no, I'm at the end of the road for her. She's redeemed herself. She's come a long way from the Underground Railroad. Who else? Cynthia, her story ended for me 5 seasons ago. It's just like, girl, I can't even stay awake during her scenes. It's like, okay, well, let me go run to the bathroom. Let me go get a drink, because it's too much. It's just it's the end of the road for these. And I wouldn't say all the franchises. Beverly Hills maybe has 1 or 2 seasons left. They need to bring back Lisa Vanderpump to stir stuff up, get on Kyle's nerves.
And she's really good friends with Kathy Hilton. So I honestly don't think she needs it though at this point. I know that Overserved had really low ratings, but that also seemed like it was like a filler for quarantine. Like what else is going on? We're quarantining, so why not do
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Right. But they're so desperate now because for years Kathy has said she would not do that show. They must have offered her a newborn baby to do it or something because she can't have babies no more. So I can't imagine what would make her want to come on the show at this point. It must have been such a lucrative offer she couldn't say no.
Paris Hilton, her daughter, said in an interview that she said, honestly, they've been knocking on my mom's door for years. I think at this point she was just bored and stuck in the house for so long during quarantine that she was like, okay, fine, let me out and I'll film. Mm-hmm. So who knows? I mean, it could have been a lot of money too, but they have a lot of money. So I don't know if money would be it for her.
I don't know. Like you said, probably bored because she has money. Or like they sweeten the deal somehow. Like, we'll give you your own show. Just something. It was just not just come on and we're going to pay you. It was a sweet deal. Because like Paris said, for years, she's been turning them down. But to me, this show maybe has, and Kim needs to come back. I need drugged up Kim. If she comes back and we got Kathy being authentic, going after Kyle, because those two hate Kyle. So if they come on the show and they're their authentic selves, I'm on board. But if
that's a show you'll watch.
Yeah, but if she's nice, and it's like all sisterly love, I'm turning the channel. It's like, don't let me down, Kathy Hilton. Please don't let me down.
You said some of these other women, they've exhausted their storylines. There's nothing else to watch. Candy, Cynthia, you named a few. Is this something to keep around to see how this plays out on screen, or no, we're done?
No, I'm done. I'm done with it. I'm really, really done. Her boyfriend's a fraud.
The new blended family, we're not into it?
The kids are all grown now. We've watched these little girls from the time they were like 5 and Adriana was born, and it's nice to see. What's the one with the blonde hair and the widow's peak? What's her name again? Gabriella. She's beautiful. She's always been the standout. She's different from the rest of them.
She really is. She looks like she's somebody else's kid.
Child. She might be the milkman's child. I don't know.
I
don't know.
If you look right next to her right there, Adriana looks like her. She has that chin. She has that hair, the same hair that Melania has. Melania looks like Teresa. Gia, she looks like a mix between the two of them. And then you have Gabriella, who just kind of looks like, whose daughter is that?
Exactly. And she's always seemed to just be like on the outskirts of that family. Like, why am I here?
Yeah.
Was this a mistake? Was I switched at birth? Her face always looks like that. Like, even her body language. Go back to that photo. She's like, her head's tilted away from them, and you see the stress in her neck. Like, damn it. Why am I here? How did I get here?
Yeah, she does. You're not wrong. If you actually look at family photos and stuff of them, she really does always look incredibly uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm. She does. She really, really does. Mm-hmm.
Well, Monica, I feel like we have kind of broken down. We came here to talk about New Jersey, but then we started talking about Teresa, and then I didn't really care to talk about Margaret or her book or Jennifer Aiden and her drinking behavior. The storyline starts to piss me off because it feels a little pre-produced, but then we got on the fraudulent behaviors of Housewives. So we kind of went all over the spectrum here, but I really enjoyed this.
I did too. I'll definitely love to come back. And again, thank you for having me, Adam. And I would love for you to come on my channel as well and join the panel and I. It's always a great kiki when you come.
I'll be around. And next time that I snag some of your time, I will make sure it's some that you're really invested in, not this New Jersey crap. Okay? I promise.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Of course. And Monica, for anyone who's living under a rock, which I'm sure everyone knows who you are and where they can find you, can you just let us know where we can find you?
Yep. You can find me here on YouTube. My channel is All About the Tea, or you can check out my blog, allaboutthetea.com. We spill tea daily. And on my YouTube channel, we spill tea every night, myself and the panel.
And she does amazing in her panel. They do not hold back. That, like I told you, they give you that like hilarious humor that comes with it, but then they also give you that shock value and that shock factor. So you have me sometimes I'm laughing and I'm like, the hell did she just say? So it's good. It keeps me interested. Jason and I will sit here and just watch you sometimes, and we have the best time. We'll sit here, we'll drink our wine, sometimes maybe too much wine, and then we're dying laughing with you. So it is what it is. And as always, I appreciate you joining me. I also have Monica's YouTube tagged in the description below, so you guys can find it there too. And Monica, we'll see you so very soon. Are you doing a show tonight?
Yep, we're doing a show tonight. We're covering Love and Marriage Huntsville. There's been so much drama on that show, so that's on the OWN channel for anyone that watches. Join us; it'll be interesting.
All right, guys. What time are you doing that?
8. What time are we doing that? 9 p.m. Eastern.
All right. So guys, make sure to go check out Monica tonight at 9 p.m. and her amazing panel. Monica, I hope you have a beautiful day, and I will talk to you very soon.
Thank you so much. Bye.
All right, bye. All right, guys, that was Monica from All About the Tea. She's amazing. You definitely have to go check her out. If you haven't already, go ahead, hit that like button on this video, subscribe to my channel, and go subscribe to Monica's, of course. And don't forget to hit notification bells for all channels. If you really like the content creators, the YouTubers, the bloggers, when you hit that notification bell, you don't miss anything. Tomorrow we're coming back on with Pops. Pops is going to pop off on pop culture. He doesn't even know about the Jen Shah stuff yet, or a few other things that I want to surprise him with. And don't forget, 100% of that video goes back to our vets. So we raise money for the vets. We have a fun panel that comes on. We take calls. We talk Bravo. We talk TLC. He usually talks about something that I don't want to talk about, but that's okay. We love Pops. Guys, we'll see you so very soon. Bye, guys. Love you. And thank you guys to all the mods. I know that I didn't have let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Yes, thank you to all the mods. Love you guys. Bye.